All right, let's get right into it. If you're looking at building a new AI rig, or maybe upgrading your current one, you've got two huge names staring you in the face, the RTX 4080 and the soon-to-be-released RTX 5080. So today, we're going to cut through all the noise and really figure out which of these beasts is the right call for your AI goals. Let's do this.
So right out of the gate, the source material does not mess around. It makes a pretty bold statement. For the real cutting-edge deep learning stuff, the 5080 is the new champion. But, what does stronger actually mean here? It's not just about more power, it's about being built specifically for the kind of AI work that's coming next.
But hang on a second. Stronger doesn't automatically mean it's the smarter choice for your bank account or even for the kind of projects you're working on. So that's the real question we need to get to the bottom of. Which one of these cards actually fits your needs? Do you absolutely need the latest and greatest? Or is the powerhouse we already have more than enough to get the job done?
And you know what? Let's just give you the answer right up front. If pure, unadulterated AI performance and being ready for whatever comes next is your number one thing, then yeah, the RTX 5080 is the clear winner. But, and this is a big but, if you're looking for an amazing, practical, powerful card for smaller AI projects, gaming, and creative work without totally emptying your wallet, the RTX 4080 is still an absolutely fantastic choice. Now, let's break down why. Okay, so the biggest difference between these two cards really comes down to their DNA, the architecture they're built on. The 5080 is built on the brand new Blackwell architecture, which is the direct follow-up to the 4080's Ada Lovelace. And this isn't just slapping a new name on it, this is a true generational leap. So what does that leap actually get you when it comes to AI? Well, it all boils down to one super important component, the tensor cores. See, the Blackwell architecture in the 5080 is packing 5th-generation tensor cores, while the 4080 is running on the 4th gen. Think of it like this. The 4th gen is a supercharged V8 engine, but the 5th gen, well, that's a V8 with a jet engine strapped to it. It's where all that extra AI horsepower comes from.
Tensor cores are, for all intents and purposes, the AI engine of the GPU. They're the specialized bits that do all the heavy lifting for machine learning. So when you go from a 4th gen to a 5th gen, you're getting a seriously upgraded engine. Let's see what that actually looks like when we talk raw numbers.
Now, before I throw some pretty wild numbers at you, we got to know what we're measuring. We're going to be looking at AI TOPS, which just stands for trillions of operations per second. It's a pretty simple metric, really. The higher the number, the faster the card can chew through AI calculations. It's the horsepower rating for an AI GPU.
Okay, here's our starting point. The GeForce RTX 4080, which is an absolute monster by the way, clocks in at 780 trillion operations per second. I mean, that is a staggering amount of power, more than enough for some really serious AI work. So remember that number, 780. And now, the RTX 5080. It comes in at 1,801 AI TOS. Nope, that is not a typo. It is more than double the performance of the 4080. This isn't just a small step up, this is a quantum leap forward in AI processing power. And it's all possible because of a really clever change in how the card thinks about AI math. So how on earth is that number so much better? Well, the secret sauce is in those 5th-gen tensor cores. They can now work with new, less precise numbers, like FP4 and FP8. Think about it like this. Instead of describing a color with its exact Pantone code, you just say light blue. It's a little less precise, sure, but it's way, way faster to communicate. Modern AIs, especially large language models, are designed to work just fine with these good enough numbers, letting the 5080 process information at just unbelievable speeds. And that efficiency is where that massive jump in TOPS comes from.
Okay, so the AI engine is an absolute beast, we get that. But what about the rest of the card? Let's put these two side by side and really look at the tail of the tape.
So looking at the chart, yeah, the 5080 has more CUDA cores, which is great for general-purpose stuff. But the real story here is the memory. The 5080 uses the newer, faster GDDR7 memory, giving it a bandwidth of 960 gigabytes per second, compared to the 4080's 716. The best way to think about bandwidth is like a highway for your data. The 5080's highway is just way wider, meaning it can get data to its super-fast engine much more quickly, which is absolutely vital for massive AI models. Of course, all that extra muscle requires a bit more juice. It draws about 360 watts.
So we've seen the specs, we've seen the mind-bending performance numbers. Now we get to the most important part, matching the tech to what you actually do. Who should really be looking at the 5080, and who is the 4080 perfect for?
The RTX 5080, this is for the person who lives and breathes AI.
If your day is all about deep learning, fine-tuning models, and running inference on big LLMs, then the speed and efficiency you get from the new Tensor Cores is a complete game changer. This is the card for you if you want to be on the absolute cutting edge and you're ready to invest in performance that will keep you there for years to come.
But on the flip side, the RTX 4080 is the champion of practical power. If you're prototyping, working on smaller projects, or maybe AI is just one of the things you do alongside high-end gaming or video editing, then the 4080 gives you absolutely phenomenal performance. It's the smart, savvy choice that delivers incredible value without making you pay that premium for the bleeding-edge tech.
Look, we've really just scratched the surface today, but there is so much more data and analysis out there. If you want a really deep dive into all the benchmarks and the nitty-gritty technical details, you should definitely check out the source for this explainer over at bestgpusforai.com. We've dropped the direct link for you right there in the description below.
You know, this huge leap we're seeing from the 4080 to the 5080 is just a perfect example of how fast things are moving, all because of the demands of generative AI. It really makes you stop and wonder, right? If this is the jump we're getting today, what in the world is the next generation of hardware going to unlock for all of us? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer.